welcome to another episode of Swan TV. I'm pleased to have with us today Dr. Michael Barwood of Bowles & Walker in Watton. Michael, a very good afternoon to you. So probably best, first of all, just starting off with giving some information about Bowles & Walker to the audience, just your background and telling us a bit about yourself, Michael.
Sure. So good afternoon, Oliver. Bowles & Walker is based in East Anglia. We were originally founded in 1969 in East Harling, with the current management taking over in 1995, where the company was moved over to Watton and then incorporated in 2002, 2003 respectively. We manufacture plastic injection molded products for the engineering, retail, medical and pharmaceutical industries, ranging from 0.1 grams to 2,000 grams on machines ranging from a 25 tonner to 400 tons. We've got a good proven track record of meeting the needs of our customers, who range from large multinational companies to small local enterprises in the UK, Europe and the United States. Regarding myself, my original background was in chemistry and material science. While at Sheffield Hallam University, I graduated my undergrad in 2008, my doctorate in 2012, before moving into sustainable research at Loughborough University, working with companies like Toyota and Unilever. I then joined Bowles & Walker as the quality and technical manager in 2016. I think that pretty much covers it.
Fantastic. And obviously, Bowles & Walker, you've been a long-standing client of Indigo Swans. We've dealt with each other for a number of years. Obviously, with the manufacturing industry, I mean, look, coming out of COVID, you've got to have seen some challenges. And obviously, in particular, if we look at, energy, we compare, with energy today and sort of the hike in prices, the wholesale rate, obviously being a manufacturer, recent energy prices have, will have definitely sort of impacted your sales. Just tell us a bit about sort of, the last year or so and how that's been.
Yeah, so like most people, we were affected quite a lot by the pandemic. We did manage to stay open throughout the whole period, although during the first few months, quite a few months, we dropped down to below 50% of our usual output and had to go on some tiered furloughing schemes. But no, we survived, managing to sort of recover now, mostly dealing with a lot of backlog from customers. Regards to the energy crisis, that's just another hard hit to the industry, really. But we've always been fairly progressive with our environmentalism, I suppose. We've always reused materials where possible on site. We had a solar PV system installed back in 2016. Thinking that this was the right way forward. We've always tried to invest in sustainable technologies, such as sort of LED lighting, variable speed compressors and chillers, high energy efficiency machinery, just trying to reduce our carbon footprint as much as possible, which has then held us in good stead come this energy crisis.
Of course, and obviously in the industry as well, the manufacturing industry, there's always been scrutiny, hasn't there? Because typically you're high energy users, and obviously now with supply chain, there's this demand for going green and also winning and retaining contracts as well. So obviously trying to sort of meet the measures of net zero 50 and sort of, how you put procedures in place to get, your business sort of nearer these goals. I mean, what's been great is obviously I know we met in sort of September last year, and I remember coming out and sort of us having initial conversations around sustainability. And obviously we've just supported you as well, saying to the audience, we've just supported you for an 80 kilowatt solar PV array, which got commissioned last month. So an additional array on top of that existing one that was commissioned in 2016. What I found though is obviously with yourselves is that sort of, how would we say, the persistence to not stay where you are, but obviously to really focus on, okay, yes, we've gone for solar, but what are we going to do next? What is our sheer focus over the next 5 years? And, I've been really sort of taken back by some of the conversations we've been having, whether that's been around batteries or EV or combined heat and power. So just tell me then, so over the next couple of years, and just highlight again to the audience, what are your aspirations sort of over the next couple of years? What would you like to work to?
Yeah, so I mean, I think like most people, we'd like to reduce our carbon footprint down to zero, but
Yeah.
that's a very hard ask to get. But we're going to try and use that as the goal and push towards that. But ideally, we're going to plan, with the first stage of this new solar PV going in, we're going to try and push a second phase where we're looking at alternate technologies such as voltage optimization and wind technologies, sort of air turbines, which seems to be a new version of wind turbines that you can use on a smaller commercial scale. They look really promising.
Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of promise with them. I mean, at the moment, there is a bit of scrutiny over efficiency and sort of, if you do invest in air turbines, obviously, how sometimes by the initial on the initial concepts, some of the manufacturers were saying that they would produce sort of 6,000 kilowatt hours per turbine. There has been a little bit of scrutiny as to whether that is the case, and I know sort of people are looking at that, and there's other concepts that will be released shortly. But for me, I mean, working with you, it's great to see this passion. And when we talk about voltage optimization. Essentially, I think for a lot of businesses, it's about having that structure in place and saying, okay, let's phase it. So phase 1, solar PV. Phase 2, air turbines. Phase 3, okay, what are we going to do with our heating? And just so that you've got some, all areas covered, but obviously the business is slowly moving towards these goals. Because even though we all say, okay, we need to make an impact, we need to make this impact ASAP. No, people have got to think about capital. They've got to think about, a number of different measures. So, as long as companies, again, in my eyes, as long as companies are working towards these slowly or have some sort of plan, I think that's key. And I think that's key to the UK, meeting these net 50 goals as a whole. So, really excited by some of these plans that you're suggesting. So just can you just give us some, obviously we've supported you on this 80 kilowatt array so far. Just tell the audience, how have Indigo Swan helped you with this and sort of, on this initial stage of a sustainable journey?
Yeah, no, Indigo Swan have been there pretty much every step of the way since, like I say, we met back in September. You've been supported throughout the whole project, organising and managing up to the point of completion. Yourselves and Chris supporting the installation. It's been a very good experience. We'd certainly recommend it to anyone else. We're certainly looking forward to continuing working with you, work with yourselves for these future projects and any new initiatives. Typically, you guys are the first to know and see what's going out there. So, yeah, really looking forward to the future.
That's great. And I mean, from our side, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think sort of from the initial survey, even, as we say to the installation, we're Power Different. Obviously, Power Different are a trusted provider. Chris and his team, they're great at what they do. We've tried to design a system really that can combat as much as your consumption as possible. We know that obviously roof space is limited because obviously really you're an industrial company that operates on a business park in Watton, and essentially space is limited. And we know obviously again you're growing rapidly, and so we tried to combat with the array. We were looking to cater for as much consumption as possible, to also make your return on investment as well as healthy as possible as well. So Michael, look, thanks for your time today. I obviously look forward to working on many more projects with you. I think obviously you've given the audience obviously a good bit of background about yourselves, but also the project that we've obviously done for you already. What I would say again is, look, anyone out there who is interested in getting on the sustainable journey, interested in capital assets, feel free to reach out to myself or Indigo Swan as a whole. We cater for solar, battery, air source, ground source, CHP systems. We have a number of trusted providers in place, a large amount of experience, so please do feel free to get in contact with us. But Michael, thanks once again, and again, look forward to catching up with you shortly on future plans.
Yes, certainly. No, thanks very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.